I once believed that all travel photos have to be beautiful, like a postcard. I believed that I needed to jet off to some distant exotic location in order to capture worthwhile photos. I absolutely feared having a child because I was sure that it would stop me from pursuing my passion. Looking back now, I realize that these were misconceptions. Beliefs that not only limited my growth as a photographer, but as an individual, as a human being too. You might be holding on to similar limiting beliefs and misconceptions about travel photography. So I'm here to debunk these myths and more, to empower you to dive deeper into this amazing hobby that is travel photography, or to level up your game if you're already serious about it. So I've got 7 of the biggest limiting misconceptions about travel photography for you. They're ranked from least to most impactful. Make sure you stay until the end to watch me debunk what I think is the biggest misconception about travel photography. Number 7, you need to spend serious money on gear to make great photos. Photography equipment companies would love for you to believe this. And actually they've been somewhat successful, not in a direct manner, but in a more subtle one. They really know how to entice you with the latest greatest camera, drone, gimbal, or whatever the latest gadget is. They make it all seem so exciting and necessary. Beginners may easily get the impression that they need all this gear or that they can't make photos as good as the pros if they don't have this gear. And this gear can cost quite a bit of money. However, here's the great news. We're in a time where quality photos, great photos, are more accessible than ever. To prove this, let me show you some images I took with, well, these were made with some of the first decent digital cameras. There has been a lot of technological progress in the camera industry since then. And for quite some time, you can find highly capable cameras at a fraction of the price they originally cost. All you really need is something that's good enough, like an older DSLR and maybe a couple of good prime lenses. Once you have that, just go out and start shooting and learning. Trust me, no one, and I do mean no one, will be able to tell what camera you used based on your photos, especially if your photos are good. Also, what's far more important than equipment is knowledge and being able to communicate visually through your photos. And so, this video's sponsor, my own photography course on visual communication. It's called The Ultimate Method to Amazing Photos. If you're interested in photography beyond just the gear and the basics, then do check it out. I just launched it recently, and in the description you can find a special discount code. Number 6, it's all about the location. I've been there, thinking it's all about traveling to the most stunning or exotic locations to capture the best photos. We often dream of new, perhaps exotic places, expecting unparalleled visual treats. However, with time, I've realized that even the places we might dismiss as totally mundane can surprise us with some special photo opportunities. The pandemic really highlighted this. It showed many of us that great photos could be just around the corner, in a neighboring town, or even right under our noses. And if you do find yourself in a new place, then remember, it's not just about capturing the grand landscapes or the iconic landmarks. Pay attention to the details. Focus on the people, the stories they hold, the life in their eyes. There's an entire universe in every individual, potentially even in every small and forgotten alley. Adopting this perspective absolutely transformed my approach. I began photographing friends, family, scenes I'd previously overlooked, and I found joy in the challenge. The result? My photos became a more authentic and diverse reflection of the places that I visited. Number 5. Travel photos should be beautiful. This is a major misconception that many of us have fallen for, including me. Naturally, we gravitate towards capturing those beautiful golden hour images, the picturesque landscapes, the architecture. It's rewarding, and often making those kinds of images gives us the most pleasure. But here's the thing. Travel photography doesn't have to be about only painting a beautiful, rosy picture. The world isn't always postcard perfect. Some things might feel unsettling or jarring, yet they can say so much about a location's essence. Unless you're shooting to attract mass visitors to a beautiful location, you should at least try photographing the non-glamorous subjects too. Capturing scenes like these, it doesn't give me the same aesthetic pleasure, but I do enjoy them. They provide an interesting creative challenge, they push me to grow. And often such subjects evoke completely different kinds of stories. And they can provide us with a deeper understanding of places, of the conditions there. I always say, great photos don't need to be beautiful. They just need to make you care. Number 4, everything's been seen and done. There's nothing new to explore. I come across this sentiment quite often, especially when advising against simply replicating popular photos from famous places. And many ask, why even try? Hasn't it all been photographed already? And the truth is, no, it hasn't. While there may be snapshots of virtually every corner of the world on Google Maps, many, I'd say countless places, remain pretty much untouched by a more serious photographer's lens. My travels continuously reaffirm this. In India, for instance, despite the country being so photographed, when I first went there, the middle of India and its tribal regions had very little photographic coverage. In Indonesia, I wandered around the island of Alor and the western part of Timor without seeing a single tourist, and certainly no photographers either. Similarly, even today, beyond a few renowned places in Peru, much of the country remains almost unexplored, photographically. The same goes for Argentina. Stunning places that I never even heard of before. Now, it does take more effort to visit and photograph such places, but it's far from impossible. Sometimes it could be more expensive, but often it's just about being more resourceful, like navigating with local buses or learning to ride a moped or a motorbike. The world is vast, and I think that we've still got quite a while before everything is explored photographically. Number 3, serious travel photography is impossible with a child and a family. This is something that I believed for a long time. I truly feared what would happen if I had a child. Now, in hindsight, I realize that this was a big and limiting misconception. I could have missed out on one of the best and most fulfilling decisions in my life. Starting a family. Sure, it is a different way to do travel photography. I still wouldn't go to certain places with my daughter, but as she grows older, that list grows smaller and smaller. One great advantage of having a family with you as a travel photographer is the fact that you have human subjects everywhere you go. It's possible to contextualize every landscape, infuse emotion into scenes, to make everything more relatable. Also, the support of my wife through the years has been important, whether she's assisting with the equipment or keeping me sane during challenging times. Her presence has enriched my journey. Heck, she's made much of my photographic success possible. So serious travel photography is not only possible, but for most part, for me, it's the preferred way. Number 2, bad weather ruins the opportunity. It's quite common to equate bad weather with ruined photo opportunities. And sure, it can put a damper on a typical vacation, but for the travel photographer, bad weather can be gold. Just think of fog, dramatic clouds, even rain, or a thunderstorm. These conditions can be great. They give you a chance to create images that are very atmospheric and moody. If you want to be just like most people and photograph only in the ideal conditions, then go ahead, keep limiting yourself. But if you're chasing unique, evocative images, then embrace the challenge and seek out those so-called bad weather conditions. You'll often end up with images that are more raw, that feel more real, you could even say, and sometimes even more powerful. Number 1, photos are the only end goal. To me, this is the biggest misconception of them all. Unless you're a professional travel photographer and your living depends on the images that you bring back from your trip, then photos are definitely not the only end goal. In my case, the allure of travel photography wasn't only about getting the perfect shot. The journey, the adventures, making connections, friendships, and understanding the world around me, these were equally, maybe even more rewarding. And yes, it sounds cliched, but it has been a journey of self-discovery as well. Don't get me wrong, the result, the images, they are important, but at what cost? Joining workshops that promise cookie-cutter photos of exotic locations and staged subjects, this isn't true travel photography. Not in my opinion. We may differ on this. These kinds of settings and situations, they do provide a safety net for getting some photos, but they limit your experiences. So instead, what I would do is take a risk, be independent, wander around, get lost, immerse yourself in the destination and engage with your surroundings. You might not always get that perfect shot, but the memories and the genuine moments you capture, they'll be treasures. Your photos will be reflections of authentic experiences that are truly unique to your journey. So every misconception that we've debunked points to the fact that travel photography is certainly not only about the equipment. It is not only about getting the images either. I always look at travel photography in a more holistic kind of way. So I want to have amazing experiences. I want to learn. I want to make connections with people, and I want to make photos that will reflect my experiences in a more genuine and authentic way. If we're on the same page, then let the ideas that you've seen in this video guide your own photographic journey. Now, after watching this video, you may want to learn how to better express yourself visually. If you're not already expressing yourself visually in an effective way, I would hope that you would want to learn that. Well, I have just the video for you. In fact, I have 3. Just click the one that's on the screen now, and then you can progress to watch the entire series. These videos will absolutely help you master visual communication. There's also my photography course, and the link is in the description. Thank you so much for your time. See ya.